trading family, what is good? So I wanted to do a idea review, a trade review on what I sent you a couple of weeks back, 2 weeks back, regarding the plays that we were expecting or that I was looking for. So we were literally at this point here, and when we were at this point, it was a key level, and price had to either drop down or it had to push up. It had to make a decision on which way it was going to go. If it dropped, it was going to be some deep drops, probably below 10,000 in the 9,000 range. So for price to do that, the first thing that price needs to do is it needs to push up. Smart money needs to close their positions, their long positions, so that they can then sell off and not have long positions go deep into new areas of the market in drawdown. So with that said, I had mentioned price must first revisit this area. This was the 11,300 area. I'll zoom this in. I also mentioned that we should prepare for a possible liquidity grab on the upside. All right. So if you take a look here, I'll play this out. Price did mitigate the 11,300 range. This is the 11,300 range that I mentioned. I said price must revisit this area before heading back down. And it revisited this area right here in this particular on the 18th, Tuesday the 18th, and then price then pulled back for about 300 pips, and it then retraced, but it pulled back to this low. It's no surprise that it pulled back here, because if you look to the left, this is another area where price needed to be revisited. It needed to be mitigated. So price came back here and then now pushed back up. All right, so now let's look at new ideas coming up for this week and possibly bleeding into next week. Okay, so this is what I have. Today, price closed at the daily high. It's no coincidence that it closed at this daily high. So price did shoot down, it pushed back up, and it settled right back where the daily high is. And it's no surprise, because if you look to the left, you're going to see this is a range. This is a level of support for this top range, or level of resistance here. So the market has put you as a retail trader in a interesting position to make a decision on whether you're going to be long or short. Your best bet is to wait, allow the market to react first before you, or to act first before you react. Okay, we want to follow the market. We don't want to dictate or predict what the market's going to do. So I've got some key areas marked out. This swing high here is for me a primary mitigation zone, and this is where I'll be looking for sells. And the reason why is because there are heavy sellers in this area, very aggressive. How do I know? Well, the last time that price has visited this area, we had a major push. And this will then be the second touch. And we all love double tops. We all love and understand, a second touch or a test and retest of a particular area is going to be key for our entry. So I'll be looking for sells at this level. Of course, having it touch the 4-hour, but then drilling down to my 1 minute and 5 minute to see if there are candlestick formations that will give me good confirmation that price is going to continue down. Okay, if price continues down, it's going to come down, in my eyes, down to this 11,800, back down to this 11,300 zone for a retest and a bounce. That's my first idea. If price does not retrace currently, then price, or if price does not push up and retrace, then price will just jump down to this 11,300 range, maybe deeper, before there's another retracement. So I would wait for your entries until you can find good confirmation in this area. So I have a second mitigation zone. If price pushes up and does not sell off at this area, then my second target is going to be right up in here, right at the 1,200 range, the 12,000 range, 12,000, 12,012 to 12,077. That particular range is where I'll then begin to look for sells at that point. I also have, if we do have a major push down, I am looking for buys here because there were aggressive buyers in this area. Buyers are attracted to this price, so I'll be looking for buys at this particular area. So this is what I look for entry, and I'll just give this to you. This is, let's see here, this is what I look for entry. When I see that price is in a particular area of interest for a reversal, then I drop down to the lower time frames, and I'm looking for structure to be created. Right? So we have structure now in current price. We've stopped at this price, and this price I mentioned is in a zone. So I'm looking for some structure to be some consolidation to happen, and then I'm looking for I'll call it a market candle that pushes down heavy. And this is the manipulation that traps sellers, because as retail sellers trade, we wait for a break of a zone before we enter. And this is a break. Sellers are going to hop in and they're going to get trapped. They'll then push it back up to the upside and they'll get buyers enticed. They're going to knock out the sellers and they're going to get buyers enticed before they trap again. On the second swing low is when I'm starting to look for entries, and this is where I would begin to enter. So this is how I make my plays when I'm dealing with higher time frame setups with lower time frame entry confirmations. So there you have it. Stay tuned. I'll keep you posted.